my concept is tablets, and this is my submission for the Design Challenge Summer 2009, Reinventing Tabs in the Browser. There's an article on that page too, an article called Metaphor on the Brain, Where Else Would It Be by David Maloof. So here David talks about why there's metaphors in the first place, and they're basically analogies which help us create mental maps, and that makes us able to learn interfaces more quickly, and that's a good thing. So things that worked were trash cans, files, folders, and paths. And now we bring up tabs. So do tabs establish order or chaos? If you look at this photo, unless you're the guy who is putting these tabs and stacking them in a certain way, you're not going to know what the heck is going on. And that's the same way I feel about tabs in the browser. You might have, I don't know, 20 of them open, and you are the only person who has an idea of where the tabs are sitting and if they're ordered in a particular way. So in real life, tabs, you can kind of think of them as containers. You'll group documents or whatever categorically. So in this photo, it's one of those filing systems at a family physician's office, and it's pretty obvious the contents inside of each tab because they're grouped alphabetically. When you think about tabs in the browser though, there is no grouping. It's just a way of separating the views of whatever websites you have open. So it could be just a random mixture, or users tend to group them in a certain order and rely on some sort of anchor tab to know that there's related tabs next to it. Now if we start grouping related tabs together, it will become more meaningful to the user. So as an analogy, look at this file folder. Documents could be grouped into those individual partitions, and together the entire package becomes more important and meaningful. So related tabs, if we do the same thing and group them, it gives more of a context to the tabs inside of that container. For example, you might have social networking websites grouped together. You might have whatever news websites grouped together as well, and that makes task-oriented sort of a workflow more apparent for users, and this is good. So here's my concept. It's called tablets, but they actually look more like pills. And the pills are kind of the containers, if you continue with that analogy with these grouping of tablets. So pills are the containers and tablets are the tabs. So you can see that there's a pill container, and inside of this pill I have several tabs. So here we have just a bunch of tabs that I had open in a session from a few days ago. I was researching into what tabs are, keeping track of the NBA Finals, seeing how I was doing in my fantasy basketball league. I was checking email as well as Facebook and Twitter, and I was researching into Japan for my upcoming trip. So first of all, on the left right here you can see that there's a drop-down filter, and right now it's set to do a numerical ordering of pills. So I have pills 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this is similar to workspaces on a desktop operating system. So when you have this sort of ordering, you can kind of prioritize them as you wish. You could drag and drop the pills to reorder them, and I haven't implemented that in the prototype here, but that's an idea. You could also filter by domain name, so that pills are now related to whatever the domain name is. So anything from, I don't know, docs.google.com would be related together. So you could start seeing pills grouping web applications, and that's pretty nice, and it works with a user's typical workflow, and I think that's what they would expect. There's a favorite button on each pill, and this allows you to save the tabs, the set of them, as a bookmark, and this is an improvement over saving individual websites, because future usage where I would have to do some tab researching, I could just pull up this pill and these tabs are loaded. Similarly, if I wanted to check how I was doing in the fantasy league a few days later, I just have to open up this pill that I had saved. And same goes for the research on the trip, and that's pretty handy. So with favicons, you can see that they're sort of listed here in this macro view at the bottom to jump to specific tabs. And I think favicons were one of the good things from the current tab situation that we have. Although their 16 by 16 pixel resolution doesn't help too much, but I think it's good enough for now. So you can see that the traditional layout here still exists, where you have the horizontal bar of tabs. The way I've dealt with congestion and clutter when you have like 20 tabs open is through scrolling. Since we're already grouping the tabs based on a certain context, so in this case NBA score and stats, when I scroll to this specific pill, in plain sight I have all the tabs that matter at this moment. If I want to check some social networking sites, suddenly these tabs are the only ones in plain sight. So this cleans up clutter a bit, but of course if you're going to have a single pill with 50 tablets in them, it's going to be the same problem that currently exists. So that's one of the downfalls that I see right now. That's pretty much the demo. I hope you kind of understand how grouping by some sort of context gives that set of tabs more meaning, and this sort of fits in more naturally with the workflow of an end user who's browsing the web. So thanks for your time.